So, what actually makes Light and Night so special? And why have so many players been waiting years for this English release? At first glance, it looks like a typical otome game. Beautiful characters, romantic storylines, a bit of dress-up. But once you look a little closer, there's a deeper system behind how the stories unfold, and even how you connect with each love interest. If you're curious what sets it apart, and what kind of experience you're really signing up for, let me show you everything we know so far. At its core, Light and Night is an interactive otome where you play as a rising fashion designer chasing your dream, but somehow getting pulled into something much bigger. And I think this is where it starts to feel different. Because yes, there's romance, but the story isn't just about falling in love. There's this quiet sense that something has already been set in motion long before you even arrived. Reincarnation, fate, secrets hidden between worlds, and you're slowly uncovering all of it through your choices. Now let's talk about the romance side, because I know that's what a lot of us are here for. Each love interest has their own personal chapters, which are basically their individual roots. And this is on top of the main story. You get to spend focused time with each character, understanding their story, their struggles, and how your relationship develops. And from what we've seen, the tone can shift a lot. Some roots feel soft and comforting, others feel a little more intense, even a bit dangerous. So it's not just who do you like, it's also what kind of story do you want to experience. And then there's a feature I think a lot of people are going to love, or at least be very curious about: the companionship system. This is where you can interact with the love interests more directly, like actually touching them on screen and seeing how they react. And depending on where you interact, their responses change. And if you enjoy that sense of connection in games, this might be one of those features that really pulls you in. Now, outside of romance, your role as a fashion designer is also a big part of the experience. You can customize your character, style outfits, and express yourself visually in the game. So it's not just about watching the story, it's also about showing up in it as your own version of the main character. And if you enjoy dress-up systems, this looks like something you can really have fun with. So what about the gacha system? In Light and Night, it's called Blessings. And this is how you get cards tied to the characters and their stories. There's a standard banner that's always available, and from what we know, your very first multi-pull guarantees a high rarity card. After that, there's a kind of soft pity system where your chances increase the more you pull without getting the highest rarity. There are also limited banners that come and go, usually featuring specific characters or story moments. And while we don't know the exact balance for the English version yet, this gives us a general idea of how progression might feel. So if you're someone who likes planning ahead, or just wants to understand what you're getting into, it's something to keep in mind. And if you're wondering whether this is a game you'll finish quickly and move on from, it's not. In other regions, the game keeps expanding with new story chapters, personal routes, events, and limited banners. So if you do end up loving it, there's a lot waiting for you. And of course, we have to talk about the love interests. Each character doesn't just look different, they feel different, different energy, different emotional pacing, different kinds of stories. So as we go through them, just notice who you're naturally drawn to, because that usually says a lot about the kind of experience you'll enjoy most. Let's start with Osborne. At first glance, he gives off that classic don't get too close vibe. He's a top racing driver, confident, rebellious, always chasing the next finish line. But underneath that, there's more going on. He has a hidden life as a bounty hunter, and that contrast between his public and private worlds adds a lot of tension to his story. And personality-wise, he's actually warmer than you'd expect. He teases, jokes around, and there's this sense of reliability, like no matter how chaotic things get, he's someone who stays. Then there's Evan, CEO of Warzone Group, calm, elegant, always in control, but he's also part of a vampire lineage. And I think what makes him interesting isn't just the power or mystery, it's the distance. He's kind, polite, always there when you need him, but there's this feeling that you never fully reach him. And that creates a really subtle kind of tension. Because with Evan, it's not about breaking walls dramatically, it's about slowly understanding someone who's used to carrying everything alone. Next is Cyriel. And I feel like you'll either be instantly drawn to him or slightly intimidated. He's a legendary designer and your mentor, sharp, blunt, and honestly a little ruthless. If something isn't good enough, he'll tell you. But underneath that, there is warmth. It's just something you have to earn. There's also a deeper, heavier layer to his story, his past, his identity, the fact that he's not entirely human. So his root feels more like a slow burn, where every small moment matters. Then we have Charlie. And he's a lot in the best way. Confident, charming, very aware of how attractive he is, and not shy about it. But he's also a skilled surgeon who genuinely helps people. So you get this mix of someone who seems almost too perfect, but then shows these softer, even a little childish sides when it comes to love. That contrast makes him really fun and surprisingly endearing. And finally, Jesse. He feels like sunshine. He's a musical actor, full of energy, very open with his emotions, and just easy to be around. But what I like about him is that he's not only cheerful. When things get serious, he can shift into a much calmer, more grounded version of himself. And that balance makes him feel real. There's also a sense of shared history with him, which adds this layer of comfort, like being with someone who already feels familiar. And honestly, what's really nice here is that there's no right choice. Each character offers a completely different kind of story, a different emotional experience. So instead of worrying about who to pick, you can just follow what feels right to you. If Light and Night got you curious about what else is out there in otome, you're not alone. There's a lot more coming your way. And honestly, 2026 is looking stacked with new stories, love interests, and games worth your time. So if you're wondering what to get excited about next, click on this video where I'm sharing 30 upcoming otome and amare games you might want on your wishlist.